Hi guys, so I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes for people to start rolling in. So just hang tight. So thank you for everyone who showed up. I'm going to start in roughly 2 minutes. Okay, so I'll get started. If there's more people coming in, I'll just roll them in. All right, so welcome everybody to this workshop about discovering volunteering opportunities. Before I begin, I would just like to introduce who we are. So we are YRES, York Region Educational Services, and we are a nonprofit organization offering free language and STEAM programs for ages kindergarten to seniors. Um, so a little bit about myself.
How do
I
you turn camera? Yeah.
um I can do that for you if you want. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I'm Zenyan Lin, and I'm a teaching assistant at YRES. I am a third year in University of Scarborough, and I major in psychology. I have a linguistics minor, and I love, spreading knowledge, and that's why I am a teaching assistant. So,
എടുത്താ ഇരുപത് എടുത്താ എടുത്തതേ മറ്റേ
let's see. Sorry, Anson, could you mute yourself? Okay. So today's agenda, first off, I'm going to talk about why you should volunteer, and then I'm going to talk about where you can actually find these volunteering opportunities. And then thirdly, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about our volunteering opportunities at YRES. And then later on, I'm gonna have a Q&A session for anyone who has questions about volunteering or anything about university, feel free to ask. So before I get started, can I just have people tell me what your minimum community involvement hours is to graduate, assuming that you're in high school. If this doesn't apply to you, then feel free to, you know, ignore this question. But if you are in high school, can someone tell me what their minimum volunteer hours are? Okay, so Maya says 40 hours. So back in high school, it was also 40 hours for me, but I heard that during the pandemic, it was lowered to 20 hours. So it's great to hear that they raised it back, but that also means that you need to have more community hours to graduate. So let's start off with why should we volunteer? First off, volunteering is not only about giving back to the community, community involvement, but it's also about your personal growth and skill development. It really helps you prepare yourself for the work field and to further your skill sets to prepare you for working in the real world. So volunteering is a really powerful way to make a positive impact on the community, but it's also about giving back, lending a helping hand, and contributing to the well-being of others. Some common reasons of why people volunteer is that they want to provide for the community. They want to see it as like an act of service. And it's also a fundamental pillar of community strength and resilience. Volunteering is also about individuals coming together, shaping a brighter future for everyone. It's also a really good way to make connections. Volunteering can lead to, part-time opportunities. It can also lead to work, full-time work, and, getting those references to start off your professional development. So here are some emotional rewards of volunteering. The really big one is empowerment. I think that when you're volunteering for, a very impactful cause, then you might feel very fulfilled that you are helping people who need your help. And you can do that through, volunteering for cancer research, um, things about helping the homeless, helping children who are less capable of doing the things that they need and getting the support they might need. So what motivates us to volunteer? Well, there are a lot of reasons, but the main ones are again personal fulfillment and professional development. So not only do you get that fulfillment of helping someone in need, you'll also develop a lot of skills that you can transfer onto maybe a job in the future, and you can talk about that in your interviews or your resumes. It's a really good way of building up experience. So can I have someone share, whether in the chat or if they want to unmute, just give me an idea about why you want to volunteer or why you're interested, whether it's, just getting that 40 hours or if you really do want to make an impact in the community. Can someone share a little bit about, their passion? And it doesn't have to be a long paragraph. It can just be a short sentence like, I want to fulfill my 40 hours. Or you can say that I want to help those in need. If no one wants to share, that's fine. I can share my own experience. So in high school, I volunteered over 400 hours of my time, whether it was after school or in during the summer. I can say that from my experience, I really did, after the 40 hours, I really didn't care about, you know, getting hours. It was really about the fulfillment that I get from volunteering. So someone said I need to graduate. Yes, that is a very that is an honest answer, and I appreciate that. That was my thought too. I wanted to graduate. I needed my 40 hours. And a lot of people don't um, they don't start volunteering until their senior years. And that's when things start to pile up. So I'm gonna say try to get your volunteering hours done in grade 9 or 10 so that you can have that free time in your senior years to commit your hours to other sorts of opportunities, and you're not trying to work towards that 40 hours. So now I'm going to give you some ideas about where you can find volunteering opportunities. So volunteering opportunities can be found through local nonprofits, online platforms, and community events. So there are many different platforms. Some that I'm familiar with is Volunteer Connect for especially York region, and then the Volunteer Toronto one, which covers all of Toronto. So things like Scarborough are places that are also with Volunteer Toronto. But again, you it's not limited to these platforms. You can also find volunteering opportunities in your own high schools. So in the beginning of the year, you might hear announcements of like, this club is running, this council is running, we're recruiting people to volunteer for us. In my case, I was a part of a couple of these. So in high school, I volunteered for the knitting club where we knitted blankets for the homeless. So that's also a sort of community involvement. And I also volunteered to be in recycling club. So it helps the environment by, garbage sorting. We make sure that all the garbage goes in the garbage and all the recycling goes into its correct places. So again, it's for the environment. That's why you get those volunteer hours. And for councils, I was in yearbook and music council. So again, like um, setting up for spring concerts and spending my time crafting up, editing yearbooks. That's all something that if you have that opportunity, make sure to take advantage of that. In high school, we also had like community events where we had to fundraise for cancer research. So that's something you can also gain hours for. Just keep an eye out for that. It should be in your newsletter or morning announcements. So those are also places where you can find volunteering opportunities. So topic 3. Wait, before I go to this topic, does anyone have any questions about volunteering opportunities using platforms or through your high school? Okay, I'm going to assume that we're all okay. And okay, so topic 3, we're going to talk about volunteering opportunities at YRES. So the YRES is my company. So I'm working under YRES right now, but we're also hiring a lot of volunteers for this summer. So some of that includes camp volunteering. So if you're interested in volunteering for our summer camps or our weekend camps, we have these 4 selections that you can take a look at here. So the first one, YRES summer camp. So this is a summer camp, and if you're looking for a way to easily fulfill your 40 hours needed to graduate, this is a really good option because you can volunteer for a week and you basically will get all of your 40 hours in one go. So The camp runs from 9 to 4, so 7 hours. 7 hours times 5 days a week, that's 35 hours. So if you just volunteer for 1 week, you'll get 35 hours, and you can volunteer elsewhere to get your 5 extra hours. There's a question in the chat. Is there a minimum age requirement to be a volunteer? So yes, I will be getting to that in a second. Okay, so hang on tight. So that's about our summer camp. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask questions. And then our weekend camp is only from now until I think at the end of June. So there's not many opportunities now, but it will return after in the fall. So this one weekend camp, we have weekend camp on Saturdays. So it's only 1 day a week. So once you volunteer, you might also only be getting a couple of hours per week. So that is like a leisure volunteering opportunity for you. We also have weekend STEAM camp, which is on Sundays, and it's basically the same thing as the weekend active camp, but it's on Sundays. And then we also have a math elite camp at Markham Public Library. So if you live really close, that could also be something that you might be interested in. And the dates are all on these flyers. Let's see, if you don't like the idea of summer camp or like working with kids, maybe you're more interested in like data entry or marketing, then you can be a volunteer for this library slash community events that we have. So we have regional speech contests. These are weekly volunteer opportunities as well. You can go to our website to learn more. We also have youth workshops at Anine and community enrichment. So if I can just turn the camera around. So those are our current volunteers for youth workshops and community enrichment. You can see that there's I think 6 people here right now. They're getting their volunteer hours already. So that one's just at where this event is supposed to be taking place as well. And this is every Saturday. So again, if you need hours and you don't have time during Monday to Friday, you can come here on Saturdays and get your volunteer hours. It's from 12 to 4. So you can get between 1 to 4 hours every Saturday. So the great thing about volunteering with us is that you can either do in-person volunteering or you can do virtual volunteering. So if you feel that you don't want to commute all the way to the volunteering places, then you can just sign up to be a volunteer with us virtually. For virtual positions, we have a lot. We have web developer. So if you're interested in any computer science or engineering, think about, the skill sets that you're going to develop in a web developer position and how that's going to help you build your skills for, future jobs. We also have social media marketing. So if you want to be a volunteer for that, it will develop your communication skills and your marketing skills. It'll also develop your graphic design skills and, in general, working with social media, you're going to get an understanding of marketing. We also have business management, so things like expansion strategies, if you're interested in that as well. And we have project coordinators. Marketing coordinator is for university students only, so likely that doesn't apply to you, but if you're interested in any of these virtual volunteering opportunities, you can check out our website, which is down here, yorkeducation.org/volunteer. So everything that I talked about, the summer camp volunteering positions and library community positions, you can take a look at on our website, and it tells you the requirements that you need to volunteer. So someone asked about your age requirement. So here's the answer. The in-person volunteering positions, you need to be 14 years old or above. But for the virtual volunteering positions, you only have to be 12 years old or above to start gathering your volunteer hours. And the thing about our volunteer hours is that we don't accept physical forms of the volunteer hours sheet. The process is that once you're done your volunteering, we're going to give you a form that you can fill out, or your school might give you a form, like a format of how they want the hours to be written down, and then you're going to fill that out, scan it, and then email us, and then we'll sign it off and send it back to you. So we don't do any physical signing. We do it all online, just to save resources and have that kind of more efficient process. So Janet, I hope that answered your question about volunteering age requirements. And then I'm going to talk about the location. So another requirement for you to volunteer at YRES is that you must reside in Canada for the duration of your volunteering period. So you can be anywhere from Canada, but you have to physically live here during the duration. Sorry. You have to physically, you can be in Vancouver, you can be in British Columbia. It doesn't matter as long as you live in Canada for the duration of your volunteering period. You can come in person, but that's a bit far. So you might be interested in our virtual program, our virtual volunteering. You also must have access to a computer and the internet, because a lot of the communication between volunteers and our volunteer coordinators are through like online text channels and emailing, and a lot of the tasks that web developers and social media marketing people, it has to be done online. So you need access to a computer and the internet. And the more important one would be commitment. I'd say the commitment that you must uh, achieve to continue volunteering with us is that for virtual volunteers, you need at least 10 hours per month to continue to volunteer for us. And once you're done, let's say you're for 40 hours, you can tell us that and then say, I want to, I want to stop volunteering. I've had I've gained enough volunteering hours, but please let us know before you decide to, stop volunteering, because we need to remove you from our tracker. And that's for virtual volunteers. For in-person volunteers, we just require that you show up regularly. So if you signed up to volunteer, we want to make sure that you show up. If you have emergency issues and you can't make it, make sure you email us before so we can update that on our tracker and understand that you gave a proper excuse and you didn't just not show up without telling us. So if you fail to show up 3 times without telling us, then we have to stop scheduling you for any further volunteering opportunities. Yeah, and besides that, we want you guys to be passionate about, education and enthusiastic and ready to learn. We also need you guys to cooperate with each other, because all of our volunteers work closely with each other in a team setting. So it's important. Sorry guys, just a second.
No one knows it's religion. No one knows. They were yeah, they from they're completely.
If you guys want, you can take a seat here. Okay. Okay. I assume that past the 10-minute mark, no one was going to show up in person. So a lot of people are online. So I've been presenting to the people that are online. Yeah. So, okay. It seems that people have showed up in person, so I'm going to.
Are they still online?
Yeah, there's I think 8 people online right now. Okay, sorry guys. There's a couple people who showed up in person, and I'm going to have to set up that. So, okay, here's the plan. I'm going to finish off this workshop and then I'll redo it for you guys because it's a relatively short one today. Yeah. Okay, so as I was saying, we require that you guys cooperate with your fellow volunteers because it's very important that in a team setting, you communicate with your team, and if you're stuck on anything, you can reach out to us and we can give you the support that you need. So all this about volunteering at YRES. So why is it important that you volunteer with us? Well, we have a yearly event where it's called a volunteer appreciation event. So for the volunteers that are outstanding and hardworking, we will recognize your efforts and you will be entered into a draw for winning an award for being a star volunteer. It happens every August. So if you're, really hardworking and you do well, we will recognize your efforts and you might receive a certificate and special gift from our YRES volunteer coordinator. So that's it for this workshop. I know it was pretty short. I mentioned that in the email that I wanted to give more time for you guys to ask questions about anything. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the chat or you can unmute. So I'm interested in the virtual volunteer position as a web developer. Are pre-existing skills necessary? So here, if you scan this QR code, it can bring you to our website to register for our volunteering program, or if you want, I can show it right here. Oh, okay. So there might be a bit of an issue with our website, but here, the volunteer web developer, right? So you only have to be, for the virtual volunteering programs, you have to be 12 years old or above. Because we're taking volunteers, we don't expect you guys to have like to be super skillful at web development. You know, it's a learning process for you guys as well, and we want to support you guys through that process. So you don't have to be like an expert in web development, but you will have, we will assess your skills and see whether you are, if you're capable. We want to see how your professionality, so we might send you an interview and assess your attitudes and personality in that way. But as for virtual volunteering, the requirements are really lenient. If you go to our website, you can find out more about that opportunity. So Wilmot says, where do we start? Where can we go to find information about what opportunities are available and to apply for a volunteering role? Yeah, for sure. So here, I think, yes, should be this website. I think there might be an issue with our website right now, but I'm just gonna paste this. Yeah. So here, volunteering events. So virtual opportunities, we have web developer. So yeah, if you click in, if for Yen, if you click into this web developer, it will show you what you need to apply for this position. So all the information is going to be here. And for everyone else as well, I'm going to contact our web developer to, fix this website, but it doesn't usually look like this. If you're looking for volunteering, you can go to our website and all of the positions should be there for you guys to view. So that's where you can start, looking at where to find those opportunities. Yeah, so does anyone else have any more questions? Again, a lot of the information is on our website, so feel free to check that out. Okay. I'll give it a couple seconds, but if no one else has any questions, I thank you all for coming. This session will be recorded and uploaded onto our website, so if you want to come back and look at any of the information, feel free to do so. Okay, so yeah, if you have no more questions, you're free to leave. And oh yeah, if any of you forget to ask me any questions, you can email me. You can reach me at, you can send an email to our volunteering email, or you can send an email to me if you have any questions about the content. So if you want to screenshot that or copy that, feel free to do so as well. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
No problem. Bye guys.